TYT Politics, doing another kitchen report. It's very high quality here at TYT. By the way, Michael Schur has not taken over our channel. He's been doing some informative videos on where each of the candidates stand. We did that for the Green Party. We did that for the Libertarian candidate, Gary Johnson. So don't freak out. Jordan and I haven't gone anywhere. We're just doing other things. We're super busy. So Michael and people at TYT are helping out. So don't freak out, as Jimmy Dore would say. Do not freak out. We're all good. But anyway, go check out Jordan's videos on Standing Rock. Go check out Michael's videos. Go check out Eric's videos on Trump. I actually wanted to come down to my kitchen. I know I'm really, it's a really hard life I'm leading. I'm wearing pajama pants under here. But I wanted to talk a little bit about Donald Trump. I've been doing this WikiLeaks stuff constantly. So I haven't been able to actually delve into Donald Trump, who, there's all this talk about who's the bigger of two evils. I don't think it's close. That's my own personal opinion. You guys can make your own decision. But I also want to lay out the case for Donald Trump's climate change proposal, because he has been saying some insanely reckless things about the Paris Accords, and I want to talk to you guys about it. There's a lot of stuff that we can discuss, because I think one of the main talking points when we progressives have issues with Hillary Clinton, when we have issues with Donald Trump, it's rhetoric versus record. So Hillary Clinton's record is spotty at best. Hillary Clinton hasn't had the best record as a progressive. She flip-flops on everything. She is a warmonger. I think the only real case to be made where she is worse than Donald Trump, if you're matching his rhetoric with her record, is war. She's a very big warmonger. But where I come up against other progressives in terms of the rub of rhetoric versus record is because we don't have a record for Donald Trump. Like, that's the point, is because he's never been in office and he's been untested. So that's the issue where you run up against with Donald Trump. But I think some of his statements can be counted almost as record because he said them so vehemently, and because he has said them in reference to specific policy decisions. I think, firstly, the Central Park 5 argument, where he still insists that these men who have been exonerated by DNA evidence are still guilty. That's complete horseshit, and it's also really racist. Secondly, is his stance on climate change, which is scary. So we can talk about who's better for the progressive movement. Do we put Hillary Clinton in office and then push her to be more progressive? And vote for, or do we not care about the election? Do we vote for Jill Stein and get her to 5% and do away with these two parties? Do we put Donald Trump in and blow the whole thing up? I think that option is not an option for our country. I really don't. I think I had to come on here, guys, because I was feeling like we have to say something about Donald Trump. We have to say something about how this is more than the progressive movement. This is our planet. So this is what he's been saying about the Paris Accords, and China has come out against what Donald Trump has said. So when you have a presidential candidate in the United States who is worse on the climate than China, we have an issue here. China on Tuesday rejected a plan by U.S. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump to back out of a global climate change pact, saying a wise political leader should make policy in line with global trends, a rare comment on a foreign election. The world is moving towards balancing environmental protection and economic growth, China's top climate change negotiator told reporters in response to a query on how China would work with the Trump administration on climate change. If they could resist this trend, I don't think they'll win the support of the people, and their country's economic and social progress would also be affected, Ji Zhenhua said. I believe that a wise political leader should take policy stances that conform with global trends, China's Veterans Climate Chief said. Trump has threatened to reject the Paris Agreement, a global accord negotiated by nearly 200 governments to battle climate change that takes in effect on Friday. Many progressives, like myself, don't think that the Paris Accords went far enough, But that doesn't mean we scrap them all together and say, fuck off, when we're arguably the most powerful country on earth. That would get other countries who are in competition with us to pull out, meaning that we wouldn't have any progress. We would have a devolution on devolution on climate change. I will continue. Chinese officials are often hesitant to weigh in on foreign elections, although they will defend Chinese policies when attacked on candidates' policy platforms. Xi's comments as China plans to launch a national carbon trading scheme in 2017. The scheme is on track and pilot programs have already... So that was just a Reuters article summarizing how China has recently responded to, or actually as Donald Trump would say, China has recently responded to Trump's comments on climate change. Now here's an article from New York Magazine where they cite a study by Lux Research that shows that Trump, if his policies, if his rhetoric was put into effect, it would reverse 8 years of progress, minimal progress by the Obama administration on reducing carbon emissions. So I'll cite New York Magazine. A new study by Lux Research projects that Trump would reverse 8 years of declining emissions under the Obama administration. The real damage this would do is harder to calculate directly since it depends on the overseas ramifications, as I just kind of talked about. The first international agreement to reduce greenhouse gas emissions was forged less than a year ago and relies upon delicate negotiations in which the Obama administration's promise to reduce emissions plays an integral role. The crucial role of American leadership and demands for reciprocity by developing countries suggests that if the United States embraced a drill baby drill policy, oh God, don't give me PTSD for Sarah Palin, other countries would respond in kind. It would be very hard to rebuild an international consensus for cooperation once the United States has demonstrated that one of its major parties is willing and able to shut down all limits on carbon emissions anytime it wins an election. That is spot on. So we have a insane wing of the party where, yes, Donald Trump may be better and more progressive on the TPP. He may be better than on... wow, now I'm struggling. He may be a little bit better on the TPP. He may be better on... I praised him for his stance on the AT&T Time Warner merger. He may be better on that. He's not better on fucking anything else. And, yeah, her record is shit. Her record's shit. We all know this. I have been, like, foraging through these WikiLeaks emails. No one knows more about these WikiLeaks emails than me except Jordan and John, who's been our researcher, who's been helping out. But since we don't have a record for Donald Trump, there's no way for us to assess that if his rhetoric is not will not be his record. And the markets have already been responding to Donald Trump's statements about pulling out of international agreements, and it's troubling. So I would never ever come on here and tell you guys who to vote for. I know that whenever there's a Trump story, people have this visceral reaction like, oh, shut up, because the mainstream media only focuses on Trump. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I think you guys know where I stand. I think you know what my opinion on Trump versus Hillary Clinton is. I'm just trying to lay out the facts for you. There is something to be said for, yes, just saying, like, screw it, the progressive movement, you know, we will blow it up, we'll put Trump in, and it'll be easier for us to get actual progressives in. I don't agree with that assessment, but what I do know is that this world is more than the progressive movement, and climate change affects us all. So if Trump actually got in and did stuff like this, that's terrifying. So, all right, I know, I'm a shill. I'm a shill. I'm so sorry, guys. I guess all those 20 WikiLeaks videos I did make me a shill. So, just kidding, guys. I love you. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to TYT Politics.